Just a minute.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। स्टार्टअप स्प्रिंट सीरीज में आज हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट अदनान सिद्दीकी साहब हैं। सर अदनान सिद्दीकी हैज बीन द फॉर्मर कंट्री हेड फॉर IBM पाकिस्तान एंड अफगानिस्तान, और सर इदरीस ख्वाजा मेरे साथ। डॉक्टर इदरीस ख्वाजा इज डीन ऑफ एयर यूनिवर्सिटी स्कूल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट। सो ओवर टू यू डॉक्टर इदरीस ख्वाजा साहब। सर प्लीज। आप सबके कनेक्शन।
Thank you, Adnan sir, for sparing time. Thank you, Adnan sir, for sparing time to be with us. It would be great for the students to learn from you various things, given your diversified portfolio, IT, leadership, entrepreneurship, and so on. So we are hoping for an exciting session. And I would request Mr. Imran Jattala to formally introduce Mr. Adnan.
Thank you very much, Sir Idress. Mr. Adnan Siddiqui is a technical degree holder from FAST से एक CS में डिग्री की, उसके बाद इन्होंने IBA से बिजनेस पढ़ा, उसके बाद लंदन बिजनेस स्कूल से बिजनेस पढ़ा, and now is part of IBM. IBM में ये IBM पाकिस्तान के कंट्री हेड रहे। अगर मैं अपने फेलोज को बताऊं, IBM is a $100 billion company. I love IBM by the way. IBM एक innovation engine है दुनिया का. IBM produces 20 patents per day for last over a decade. IBM produces 20 patents per day. So IBM is an amazing innovation engine. और अदनान सिद्दीकी साहब उसमें एक बड़ा रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं, मिडिल ईस्ट में एक लीडिंग रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं, IBM रिटेल को हेड कर रहे हैं मिडिल ईस्ट में। मिडिल ईस्ट इज अमेजिंग मार्केट, इट्स थ्राइविंग पोस्ट कोविड, इट विल पिक अगेन। ये अदनान सिद्दीकी साहब हमें बताएंगे कि कैसे मिडिल ईस्ट इसमें से रिकवर करेगा और once again will be thriving. So thank you very much, Sir Adnan, for your time. We're really grateful. We're really honored to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So हम सर आपसे सुनना चाहेंगे, और बहुत सारे हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के एयर यूनिवर्सिटी से, और अर्ली स्टेज स्टार्टअप्स हैं हमारे डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज में। सो ये जानना चाहेंगे आपकी जर्नी, यू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम फास्ट, और उसके बाद फिर IBA, और फिर लंदन बिजनेस स्कूल, फिर पाकिस्तान नेशनल लेवल का रोल, और फिर मिडिल ईस्ट। सो योर जर्नी।
First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Idress. Thank you, Imran, for giving me this opportunity to talk to your students through you and whoever else is listening today. Journey is important. Yes, it's very important, and it shows where a person has been. तो मैं शुरू करूँगा basically अपनी स्कूलिंग से, बिकॉज मेरा ये ख्याल है कि स्कूलिंग से ही आपकी पर्सनालिटी बनना शुरू हो जाती है। और मेरा ख्याल है कि मेरे ऊपर भी बहुत ज़्यादा असर रहा अपने स्कूलिंग के ज़माने से ही। मेरे स्कूल का आई वॉज एट कैंट पब्लिक स्कूल इन कराची, और वहाँ का माहौल, वहाँ के टीचर्स, वो मेरे लिए एक मेरा ख्याल है कि द फर्स्ट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेपिंग स्टोन फॉर मी। और उसके बाद जी क्लास 8 में मैं चला गया था कैरेट कॉलेज पिटारो, मैंने ज्वाइन किया। और कैरेट कॉलेज पिटारो वाज अनदर स्टेप अप फॉर मी, एंड पिटारो एक्चुअली टर्न्ड मी और कन्वर्टेड मी इनटू slightly more outgoing person than I was before, or I was I would have been if I stayed at my previous school. So going to Pitaro, I became more of an extrovert. I met people from all over Pakistan, spend all so many years with them, and then I realized basically कि दुनिया में, पाकिस्तान में कहाँ किस कोने से कौन लोग आते हैं और किस किस्म के लाइफस्टाइल्स होते हैं. So basically that was a very important aspect of grooming for me, which is very important for everybody, every Pakistani, that we ought to know all sorts of people in our country. चाहे वो किसी प्रोविंस के हों, चाहे वो किसी इलाके के हों, we need to understand, we need to meet each other, and that's how basically harmony develops among each other. So मैं इस चीज को बहुत अहम समझता हूँ. मेरी जो आउटलुक चेंज हुई वो बहुत हद तक पिटारो से में हुई, जहाँ मैंने देखा कि NWFP, उस जमाने में NWFP था, पंजाब, कश्मीर, बलूचिस्तान, सिंध तो ऑफ कोर्स था, हर जगह से वहां पर लोग आए और मुझे हर पाकिस्तान के कोने कोने को जानने का मौका मिला. And that is very important for you to develop a national outlook. उसके बाद जी, after Kirit College Pitaro, I came back to Karachi, and let's jump to FAST then. FAST at that time used to be called the BCCI Foundation for Advancement of Science and Technology. This is what FAST stands for. ये वही इंस्टीट्यूट है, जो ये वही यूनिवर्सिटी है जो कि अब न्यूसेस कहलाती है, नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ साइंस एंड इमर्जिंग साइंसेस, समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो उस जमाने में 2 कैंपस होते थे, एक कराची में, कुछ दिनों बाद लाहौर में भी एक कैंपस खुल गया था, अब तो खैर बहुत सारे हैं. सो आई वाज पार्ट ऑफ द 3rd बैच ऑफ फास्ट, और उस वक्त तक कोई भी फास्ट का बैच पास आउट नहीं हुआ था. So we weren't so sure that what would be the what would be the job market like for us. I was actually, before FAST, I joined NED Engineering University, but then I left NED for FAST because FAST was FAST introduced the first computer science degree in Pakistan, so I wanted to do that. So after FAST, I joined right after FAST. In fact, I was hired before my final exams at Citibank. I started working at Citibank right after my final exams, but I always wanted to join IBM because being a computer science graduate, at that time, there were very few players in the market, and IBM was one big name. So I kept, I had this thing in my mind that I have to join IBM at some point in time. And after about 1 year time, I got an opportunity and I got into IBM. And that at the same time, when I joined IBM, I also joined IBA in the evening program to basically complement my technical degree with the business degree. And I think it helped me a lot, and it proved very beneficial because in the morning I was working in the field, I was working full time, and then in the evening I was basically learning about what I have been doing in the morning. So it was a great combination. So that was it. And then if we jump, so London Business School, I went in 2010. IBM sent me to London Business School to attend a strategic management program. So it was a program where I used to go to London Business School every quarter, and then everything else was online, or we used to do assignments and everything at home. And every quarter we used to go there for about 10 days. So that's how, I spent about 2 years there, not full 2 years, as I said. But that was also a tremendous opportunity because there we had instructors from not only London Business School, but exchange teachers from American universities as well. And again, the students were from all over the world. So that's the educational journey, and between IBA and London Business School, and even today, IBM is basically a tremendous place for learning and education. Even today, if I tell you that we are in May, and I have got 123 hours of learning to my credit in these 4.5 months. Besides my normal working hours. So, and this is one of the many things that keeps people attached to IBM.
So IBM is a learning organization.
So
it is definitely.
So what?
Sorry,
yes, please.
So what leadership challenges क्या हैं इस वक्त IBM में?
So leadership challenges जो हैं वो वक्त के साथ साथ I तब्दील नहीं होते हैं, लोगों का शायद ये ख्याल होता है, लेकिन मेरा ज़ाती तजुर्बा ये है कि लीडरशिप challenges जो हैं वो कुछ बहुत सिमिलर होते हैं ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, बल्कि शायद सालों से सदियों से चेंज नहीं हुए, और उसमें सबसे बड़ा जो है वो ये है ह्यूमन रिसोर्स। आपके पास कैसी ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है, क्या आप एज अ लीडर ह्यूमन रिसोर्स को, अच्छी ह्यूमन रिसोर्स को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं और फिर आइडेंटिफाई करके उनसे वो काम ले सकते हैं जो कि जिसके लिए वो मोस्ट सूटेड हैं, राइट? This is leadership's very first and foremost challenge, I would say. दूसरी बात ये है कि एक और चीज which is important in these days, and I want students to understand, because once they go into the market, they find out that there are a lot of conflicts between what they are doing and what actually they are supposed to do, or at least they think that there are conflicts. So they should realize that they have to balance, first of all, the aim or goal of the organization with their personal goals, right? And they have to align these two, because if these two goals are not aligned, they will not be beneficial for the organization, and the organization, of course, will not feel the need to show any commitment towards them. So personal objectives and organizational objectives should be aligned. If not, they should change. So this is one thing. Another thing, another challenge is the balancing of your quarterly business and your long-term goals. So what happens is that since IBM is a multinational global organization, so like any other global organization, public listed organization, IBM has to show quarterly results. And if you don't show quarterly results, then of course it is reflected in your share price, in your stock price, and then everything else, then is determined by that stock price that you carry. So you have to give good quarterly results, but at the same time, there is a long-term vision for your organization as well as for IBM as well as the client or the customer. So you have to be very careful about balancing these two, because the customer does not care, and he should not care about your quarterly results. He should be bothered about his quarterly results, and you should be bothered about his quarterly results, right? Because this is what you are working for. So these are some of the things that I've felt. Another thing which I've felt in Middle East, especially compared to Pakistan, that over here competition is far tougher than in Pakistan, because the landscape is bigger. There are diverse companies over here. All sorts of companies in the world are based in UAE and doing their business. Whereas in Pakistan, very few companies you have to compete with. So that's another thing that I feel is different.
Imran, sir, आप कुछ पूछना चाहें?
So since you're leading the retail sector in Middle East, so ये तो इस वक्त एक serious challenge है retail के लिए, not just in Middle East, but overall across the world. और retail जो अपने आप को reinvent कर रहा है, online shopping पे जा रहा है. So आप ये कितने बड़े level का challenge है आपके लिए as an organization, और आप इसको कैसे handle कर रहे हैं?
Yaar, देखिए challenge as such, अगर if you ask me, this is something which we always were forecasting that someday this is how all the business would be done. But nobody knew that someday would accelerate and come so soon. What our point of view has always been that the store, the physical store, is not going to go away. The malls will remain, the stores will remain, but online shopping or e-commerce and the physical store and warehouses will become intermingled, and it will be a combination of all these different technologies. So in our region, people have been retailers have been on this journey. But as I said, nobody realized that this could turn into, a nightmare suddenly, when stores are closed and malls are closed and you have to depend completely on e-commerce. So we have to accelerate, and fortunately we have been able to accelerate this journey for our customers. Let me give you an example, like when due to COVID, when the lockdown started in different countries, so IBM was able to move more than about 1,000 of its customers, 98% to its centers in India and other places. So basically, which means is that we had the capacity, the planning, the vision to see that something like this can happen. Nobody thought that this would be a virus, but some kind of calamity or some kind of disaster could have happened, and we were ready for that. So now retailers are changing very quickly. They are not only moving to e-commerce, but they are preparing their malls and shops with the digital technology, using artificial intelligence to make sure that there is physical distancing, social distancing, to make sure that people are wearing proper mask and gloves and all that. In Dubai malls, for instance, the government has mandated that temperature of every person should be taken through thermal cameras. So all of these things are happening, which we are helping our customers to handle. I have myself been to some of the big retail stores, and the way they have changed overnight, almost not overnight, but it's almost overnight if you can do something like this in a month or so. That the whole way of working has changed. The technology has taken over to a large extent, and people are following those rules. The queues are there. Everywhere you will find that they are providing you gloves where you can keep changing your gloves. There is hand sanitizers over there. So basically, I think retailers are getting ready for it. In the short to medium term, most of the business will go online, and stores will basically be a place where people can go window shopping, test out the merchandise or the clothing or something, and and these stores will also be the pickup points for e-commerce. One of the retailers here in Dubai, even before COVID, this is let me tell you, they closed all of their 60 stores. It's a high fashion, it's a high fashion brand. They completely closed their 60 stores and moved to e-commerce just before COVID. So this is the future.
True. So I anticipate, since coronavirus has accelerated the digital transformation, IBM business is also picking up.
Well, actually, there is a very interesting meme circulating on the internet about digital transformation, that who accelerated the digital transformation. So if you have seen that, and it's very realistic, that actually COVID accelerated the digital transformation, nothing else.
Nothing else.
So Adnan साहब आप जिक्र कर रहे थे कि e-commerce काफी ज़्यादा हो गई है due to COVID and all this. So how do you see the scope of business analytics as a degree as a degree program at BS or MS level?
जी बिल्कुल, definitely. देखें, business analytics, when we say right now what we are doing is, and this is something which IBM has gone through itself, so मुझे बताने में आसानी रहेगी कि there was a time when we used to have descriptive analytics, right? And we have been doing it forever. And we used to call that business analysis, and that was all we knew of. And then came prescriptive, and then predictive analytics. Now we are in the age of artificial intelligence, right? So with the passage of time, IBM has also changed its services line to reflect that. So we used to have, like, for instance, the last name we have given to our analytics business was data analytics, right? Simple. But now we have changed that and merged two of our business lines, and now we call it data and AI, data and artificial intelligence. So what I would assume that, and what I would think that it's always a good idea to focus on a particular area of business where people can get trained and then go into the industry. But simple analytics will not cut it if these guys have to go into the industry outside Pakistan, or even in Pakistan for that matter, because we have to move faster. So a degree in analytics in AI or data or AI would be more suited. Like, for instance, IBM has got a university program where we help universities take advantage of IBM's training materials, IBM training platforms, IBM's trainers who train university students. So over there we have got not product trainings, but technology trainings, whether it's AI or whether it's cloud, whether it's hybrid cloud, blockchain and all that. So that is something that I would, if the students are listening to me, that they should go on the web, search and get benefit. They can earn badges by doing these courses as well. And as I said, that these are not product specific trainings; these are technology trainings.
Good. So you were referring to IBM. I was just thinking, can you, for the benefit of students, explain just the hiring process of IBM for, let's say, mid-level posts, so that the students gain an idea के जो किताबों में पढ़ते हैं और जो है उसमें कितना correspondence है?
सर, IBM का जो hiring process है वो जो स्टूडेंट्स को ज्यादा बेनिफिट करेगा और जो IBM भी जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा हायरिंग करता है वो है hiring of fresh graduates of all different types of disciplines, whether they are technical, non-technical, which means business as well, and we call that consulting by degree program, which means that people with degrees only and no experience can take part in that program. So to get into that program, IBM announces it twice a year, and then there is a process of initial screening test, and then different types of tests and all that, interviews, and there are 3-4 steps to go through, and after that a select set of students are then inducted as trainee consultants in different service lines of IBM, where some of their training is joint, and then they get into different areas or different service lines or different industries where they develop their specific skills in that service line or industry or technology. So if the students just keep watching IBM's career website. IBM announces this program over there.
So just again for the benefit, what is the format of the interview? It's a panel, it's a one person.
No, it's Dr. I will not be able to share that with you right now. What I can do is I can share it on my LinkedIn, and students can visit that. Because I'm not frankly aware of the full process. I've not been involved in it for some years now, so I don't want to give half information.
बाद में शेयर कर दें तो फिर हम सारे पार्टिसिपेंट से शेयर कर देंगे, ऑनलाइन भी पोस्ट कर देंगे.
Yes, I will do that.
लेकिन अगर आप जनरली के अगर बिजनेस ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, बिजनेस स्टूडेंट्स हैं, they can find a place with technology company like IBM, and they are all over there.
Yes, 100%. I mean, listen, IBM has very distinct career paths for business professionals and for technology professionals, right? And people can switch from one to other as well. And it's not only from technical to business. It sometimes from business to technical is possible based on individuals' own IQ and knowledge and capacity to learn. And these two, like for instance, the traditional view is that you are technical for some years and then you move into management or sales or something. In IBM, it doesn't happen like that. If you're a technical person, you can keep growing as a technical person all your life, right? Earning at times or most of the time more than your business colleagues. So you can keep, there is no, for technical people, there is no end of career as such.
So मैं खुद से सर एक इंजीनियर हूँ. I've done engineering from Air University और उसके बाद फिर बिजनेस डिग्री की. So I just want, मुझे थोड़ा सा IBM के बारे में पता है because I really love IBM, I love AI, तो मुझे IBM के बारे में पता है. Generally IBM की products जो है ना वो data centers के अंदर होती हैं, corporate offices के अंदर होती हैं. Consumer उस तरह से direct exposure नहीं होता IBM का. हमारे हाथों में जो products आती हैं उनके ऊपर generally IBM नहीं लिखा होता, maybe उनके अंदर technology embedded IBM की हो. So अगर आप जनरल ऑडियंस के लिए बता सके what a magnificent company IBM is, इनोवेशन में कितना बड़ा रोल है.
या मैं यूजुअली जब मैं कभी गेस्ट स्पीकर वगैरह जाता हूँ यूनिवर्सिटीज वगैरह में, तो मैं लोगों से ये बात पूछता हूँ कि रैंडमली आप मुझे कंपनीज या ब्रांड्स के नाम बताएं, और मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि what role IBM is playing behind the scenes for those brands, right? Kyunki IBM is a company, IBM is a B2B company. So we are in basically, we sell to industries, we sell to companies. So we are in the data center, right? We are the backbone of so many companies. So whether it's Pepsi or Coke or Shell or, you name it, XYZ. So you will find IBM in those data centers. Some of the largest banks in the world are still running on IBM's mainframes. And now when I say mainframes, I don't mean something of 20 years old. Mainframe is the latest and greatest technology which has evolved over the last 40 years. Like right now, mainframes run RISC processors and Linux, right? So as I said that, some of the largest organizations are still using those mainframes. So people don't get to know these things because people get to know what they see. They see laptops and phones and other gadgets. So that's what they think about when they think about technology, right? otherwise, the technology that runs the world is behind in the data centers or in the cloud now, for that matter. Like, for instance, for cloud, a lot of people think about some of the famous cloud companies right now, like Google and Amazon and Microsoft and all that. But the important thing to realize is that these are all public cloud companies, which means you rent out capacity, or you rent out storage, or you rent out computing power from them, and then do whatever you want to, right? Like the server that you used to have in your data center. Whereas other companies like Oracle and IBM's and all, they are technology companies. We are into real serious technology, which means hybrid cloud, which means the existing data center, how it talks to multiple clouds, how it talks to different public clouds, how it talks to different outside entities, and then how do you manage all of those private public clouds and on-prem systems, and how do you keep them secure? So this is what IBM does. Like, for instance, we all use WhatsApp, right? We all use Instagram. But we never realize what kind of systems are being run behind it, right? Millions and millions of people log onto these platforms. So on the back, there has to be a very robust, secure system that is running that, right? Like, you run a small network, and 10 people log in, and the whole network goes down. So when on Facebook, hundreds and thousands and millions of people log in at any point in time. So you can imagine what kind of network and what kind of systems are being run in the back. So that's what IBM does. That's IBM's actual role.
And if I can recall rightly, करीबन 3 से 4 नोबेल प्राइज हैं, बहुत सारे और मेडल्स हैं IBM के पास.
IBM के पास 6 नोबेल प्राइज हैं, और उसके अलावा बहुत सारे US नेशनल एकेडमी मेडल्स हैं, जो कि उनकी नेशनल साइंस एकेडमी है, और and so many others, because some of the technologies that people are using these days have actually been invented by IBM. But companies have done a phenomenal, other companies in the world have done a phenomenal job of marketing those technologies in different ways. Like virtualization. I mean, 27 years back, I was using virtualization, right? And then 10 years or 15, about 12 years back, we heard so much about virtualization, such hoopla as if, virtualization has invented. No, it was there long time back. So likewise, cloud, we are talking about cloud. And let me give you a real example. If you heard about the Sabre airline reservation system, even used today, that was an IBM company. IBM set it up, right? Now, what was it, if not a cloud, right? The only difference was that there were no private networks. There were no VPNs at that time. So the network was owned by IBM as well, or the consortium of airlines and IBM. We used to, like, for instance, when I joined IBM, till, I guess, mid-80s, IBM used to have its own international network, which we then sold to AT&T. So basically, these are the kind of things that IBM has been doing all as 100 years of life. Since I belong to retail, so I just thought of something. On every product, you see these barcodes, right? Now, these barcodes were actually invented by IBM. Each and every product has a barcode. Every book has a barcode. Everything has a barcode. In retail, nothing happens, without a barcode, which is a standard. That was invented by IBM. In fact, there was a competition, and IBM won that competition in 1950s something.
Wow. 6 Nobel Prize, 20 patents per day. Guys, whoever is listening, do you know
IBM has been the leader in patents for 27 straight years. So we have been registering more patents than anybody else in the world for the last 27 years, and some in Pakistan as well. Just once recently, I was hearing that one of our young engineers in IBM has registered a patent in Pakistan as well as in US.
Wow, that's amazing.
Adnan, moving from technology to entrepreneurship, so you're based in Dubai. तो कोई दुबई के एंटरप्रेन्योरल इकोसिस्टम के बारे में हमें कुछ बताएंगे कि why people are attracted to doing business in Dubai?
सर देखें, एक तो ये कि दुबई में हर चीज बहुत स्ट्रीमलाइंड और स्मूथ है. You may find it expensive, you may find it restrictive at points in time, but it's very, very streamlined. And you know that if you start a business today, what is going to be your cost, how much you are going to pay, right? And then laws are implemented actually in a spirit, right? Like for instance, the first thing that any entrepreneur faces is basically office space, right? Now over here in Dubai, no landowner or a renter or a rentee can exploit the other person, right? So law protects all of these. Law provides the environment for entrepreneurs to basically grow. So that's one thing. The other is that if you specifically ask about startups, so Dubai not only Dubai, the whole UAE, specifically Dubai and Abu Dhabi, the startup ecosystem, the startup scene is very, very active. Government provides multiple incubators at very, very attractive nominal rates. Then there are private incubators as well, and government helps them as well. There are private equities who help startups. So all of these are the reasons why people want to work in Dubai. And then Dubai has become, as you all know, that Dubai has become a regional hub now. So it's easier if you make it big in Dubai. It's easier for you to spread it in the larger global Gulf Cooperative Council, GCC, and then later on in the world. So that is what is most attractive about Dubai.
So Pakistan, जैसा मालूम होगा कि people are more attracted to doing jobs rather than being an entrepreneur. So क्या future क्या है पाकिस्तान में, आपको क्या नजर आता? Should the young people try to enter the field of entrepreneurship?
So there is, and this is a very good question, something I was hoping that you would ask. There is no rocket science about being an entrepreneur or being a startup, right? There is no rocket science about it. We have romanticized it too much because what we see is the big successes, of course, the Airbnbs of the world and so many others. Yes. You can do, right? So the thing is, most of the people do not try to go behind and try to understand how long it took them to be successful and how they actually became successful. What is the support system that they have, right? Usually our students, our kids think that, we have to have a great idea and then, develop some software and that's it. No, there is no rocket science. Business fundamentals don't change for any startup or anybody else, right? You have to start a business like a business. Simple as that, right? And then, hello? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. We can.
Yeah, you have to start a business like a business with the same business rules that apply to anybody else, right? Yes, and then people would come and invest if they feel that this business has potential. So like for instance, the Facebooks of the world or the Googles of the world are run uh, by businessmen, right? Uh, if Jeff Bezos is in the front, or if Mark Zuckerberg is in the front, don't think that he has brought this business to this level just by being a startup, or just by being a very intelligent guy who did something phenomenal. No, there is a full, complete ecosystem behind it. The only difference is that the business model is different, the technology is different, the idea probably is different, but then that is not the only thing. Kareem's idea was not a new idea, right? But they executed it so well that Uber took it over. And by the way, Uber itself was not an original idea, right? So basically, everybody should realize, all the students should realize that please don't get fooled by the romantic notion of starting a business. A business is always a business, no matter what, and you have to run it by the basics or by the rules of a business. Now, for that, I would recommend that students should get practical knowledge, working knowledge first, right? Getting right out of the university and trying to be an entrepreneur may not be a good idea for everybody. I mean, I see that billionaires actually send their kids to work for years to be able to start understanding their business, so that they can hand it over to them at some point in time, right? So why do you think that getting right out of university, you can be a success without any experience? Get some experience, learn the ropes, and then start your business. That is something that I would always tell anybody. I've seen so many cases, starting from my own examples of my own friends who started very early, right out of college, and then they spent so much time learning the ropes that ultimately they gave up the ideas and then started looking for jobs.
Right. Imran Sahab, can you ask, and then we may move to students or
Yes.
the participants present here.
So this is a question also, and this is a suggestion कि हमें मिडिल ईस्ट को, दुबई के स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम को पाकिस्तानी जो कि अभी इकोसिस्टम बना भी नहीं, इट्स इमर्जिंग, उससे कनेक्ट करना चाहिए. और उसमें आई विल रिक्वेस्ट यू सर कि आप फॉर्मली आईबीएम के थ्रू हम कुछ रोल प्ले करें, हम 2-3 यूनिवर्सिटीज को यहाँ से साथ में लाएं और किसी तरह से दुबई के स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम को पाकिस्तानी स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम से कनेक्ट करें. अनफॉर्चुनेटली फॉर अस कि हमारे लिए इंडिया के साथ लर्निंग ब्रिज बिल्ड करना इज नॉट ईजी, फिर दुबई के साथ ईजी है. तो अगर हम उसको लेवरेज कर सकें और इसको एक ब्रिज बनाए, मे बी एक थिंक टैंक की फॉर्म में, मे बी एक डिस्कशन और एक डिस्कशन फोरम की फॉर्म में एक फोरम बना लें या थिंक टैंक बना लें और उसमें हम दुबई को पाकिस्तान से कनेक्ट करें. बिकॉज दुबई का पाकिस्तान में अभी भी जो इंप्रेशन है ना, इट्स अ टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन ओनली, whereas Dubai has done wonders in startup ecosystem as well, in business as well. So वो साइड भी हमें उनसे सीखना चाहिए और उसको ब्रिज करना चाहिए पाकिस्तान से.
It's a very good idea, and why not? Especially in today's environment, when we are all using these video conferencing and all these technologies, staying at home, it's easier to connect to different people. You only get to know who are the people you should be connecting, and then organize something on both ends. And I can help you, whoever I know over here in Dubai. I can connect, and yeah, let's have a dialogue at least. Let's see what they are doing, what we are doing, what are the possibilities.
सर मिलके मैं डॉक्टर साहब के साथ डिस्कस करके हम एक प्लान बनाते हैं. We'll share a concept note with you और let's take this forward.
Sure, let me know.
So अब हम स्टूडेंट्स को सर थोड़ा चांस देते हैं, अपॉर्चुनिटी देते हैं क्वेश्चंस पूछने का. एमन ने पहला क्वेश्चन हमें भेजा है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल कल्चर इन आईबीएम.
What
वैसे स्टूडेंट्स
जी सर जी.
organizational culture in IBM. But students, you can, if you want, you can directly ask questions as well by raising your hand.
Yes,
Yes,
if you want to ask, raise your hands. हम आपको लाइक करेंगे.
So, in reply to this particular question about organizational culture, listen, I've been with IBM almost now for about 28 years, right? And it's not that I did not try to venture out of IBM. Numerous times I tried. I wanted to at some point in time. They were very lucrative opportunities, but ultimately when I did my calculation, I always of course I stayed back, and that is because of the organizational culture, right? And the values that that IBM has, that IBM actually teaches us, right? Like, for instance, respect for the individual, like, for instance, trust in every relationship, right? Like, for instance, always learning, always innovating, right? I don't remember any time in my life when I have not been studying or learning or something, right? So that is I'm sorry, there's somebody who's
mic stop करें please. मैं किसी स्टूडेंट का
नहीं सर, ये मैं था.
Never mind, sir.
So sorry. So basically, it was all because of IBM culture. So respect for the individual, and when I say, so there is complete professionalism, right? There is nothing like a boss or a subordinate kind of environment in IBM. I've never seen that. We are all part of the team. All the perks that one has in an organization are similar for everybody in the organization. Whether I'm the head of the organization or I am a new joinee, for everybody the same perks, the same privileges. Yeah, of course, sizes are different, of course, but the same thing. I've never seen in the parking that there is this parking spot is, for instance, for the country head, or this parking spot is for somebody XYZ, or I mean, it's an amazing place to work. People take care of each other. IBM has been number one for working since a lady has asked this question, so let me share with you. IBM has been number one for working mothers for I don't know, more than a decade, right? Because of the workplace flexibility that IBM provides. And this is nothing new. This concept you may have heard about, if it's a new concept, IBM had this flexi timings and workplace flexibility since I joined, right? I never felt, as I told you, that I did my MBA in the evening, working for IBM, for which IBM paid as well. So I hope I've been able to answer this question. Yeah. Or you can ask me on LinkedIn anytime.
Okay. And sir, is it flexible timings, or it is a work from home? Is about मैंने कहा क्या ये flexible timings हैं या it's like 9 to 5, और जो है अगर
नहीं IBM environment में IBM timings flexible होती हैं. आजकल तो खैर
work from home है,
लेकिन ये कि पहले भी I mean, I could work from home as much as I want to. Only I'm responsible to my manager. He's the person I should keep informed about my whereabouts, and that's all. I have to do what I have to do.
अच्छा, ये चले बात निकली है सर, अगर इन जनरल हमें कुछ वर्क फ्रॉम होम के बारे में ब्रीफ कर सकें कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम में गिवन पाकिस्तानी एनवायरनमेंट,
राइट,
कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम में तो उस तरह मॉनिटरिंग नहीं है, तो हाउ टू इंश्योर प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड ऑल दैट, लेट्स से कि टेक एनवायरनमेंट नहीं है, उसके अलावा कुछ है तो।
राइट, देखिए जी, कोई भी एनवायरनमेंट हो, अगर if the employees know what he's expected to do, right, and he knows that at the end of the day, he will be evaluated on the results that he performs, the results that he produces, and then he is evaluated and then rewarded based on that performance, right? Then it becomes very simple. I mean, like, if he doesn't want to work and waste time and does not attain his objectives, at the end of the day, he himself is the loser. So basically, this is my personal philosophy as well. You give a person a task, provide him with the authority, provide him with the tools that he requires, and then only ask him when there is a logical time to ask, and then let him work.
Anam Gul wants to ask a question. Ji Anam, go ahead. Anam, go ahead. You want to ask a question?
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask a question. That's the effectuation theory that you taught us in entrepreneurship. Sir, it basically talks about the desire to improve the state of a business, and it's basically an idea with a sense of purpose. So how did IBM incorporated it to achieve its ladder of success?
Okay, sense of purpose. Okay, so basically, IBM is probably, I'm not sure, I'm not saying the only place, but probably one of the best places where the sense of purpose is I would say, the foremost thing for its employees. Because the IBM's philosophy is that, you are compensated based on your achievements. You are promoted based on your achievements. Everything that you achieve is based on the achievement of your objectives, right? So when the purpose of your working becomes achievement of a certain objective, right, then I think the sense of purpose automatically creeps in, automatically comes in. A person understands what he's expected to do. But coming onto the other side, this is the practical side of it. Coming now to the other side, when we are talking about sense of purpose, basically, IBM is an organization which helps you develop yourself in the areas that you want yourself to be in, right? Well, of course, technical and business is there, but then IBM works with all sorts of different industries in the world. IBM works with NGOs. IBM works with so many organizations who are working with, working for, environmental protection. IBM is itself working with organizations working in Africa, in low-income countries, trying to help solve the medical problems that people facing in these very poor countries. So there is a vast, I would say, canvas of possibilities where you can find your sense of purpose, right? So whether it's practical within your within your professional line of business, or whether it's more than just professional work and some things that you are more interested in doing in any industry possible, right? You can do that. Like, for instance, I never used to be an industry person. I was more of a more of a person who used to work in multiple industries in Pakistan, like banking and government and all. But over here, when I came, I've always been interested in retail. And fortunately, I get a chance to get into retail. And now, I'm planning that even when I retire, I'll have a lifelong possibility of keep working in retail.
Great. Mahnoor, आप पूछें question, please.
Sir, I want to ask, are there any opportunities of for advancement or professional development of employees at IBM?
Ji, Manor, good.
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
Please repeat the question.
Yes, sir. I asked that is there any opportunity for employees to advance their development professional at IBM?
Oh yes, this is what I've been talking about. 100%, all the time. This is the only thing IBM cares about, your personal development, because IBM is in the business of skills. So as much as IBM wants you to develop yourself, because the more skilled you are, the more professionally equipped you are, the more important you are for IBM. And IBM provides you every possibility to do that, whether it's within IBM or outside IBM, and then IBM pays for it. IBM gives you time to do these things and develop yourself professionally or otherwise.
And as Adnan said, he went to London Business School through IBM.
Yes. So that was actually one thing. I've done several different trainings within IBM training centers, as well as other universities. IBM actually sends its people to Harvard, London Business School, INSEAD, Warwick in UK, all of these places during work time, of course.
Yes. So, Aksa, you want to ask a question? Ji, Aksa, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. I would start off by thanking you for such an incredible session. Now, my question is a bit different from IBM because I want to take this opportunity.
अच्छा, आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है.
I lost her completely.
अच्छा, आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल नहीं आ रही. आप काइंडली मैसेज कर दें.
Meanwhile, we will ask Ayman Sabah. Ayman, आप क्वेश्चन कर चुके हैं?
Sir, I wanted to ask another question. Can I?
जी,
go ahead, please. Jaldi.
Sir, just like you said in the beginning of the session, that the world is evolving from traditional ways to e-commerce now, and that UAE and the rest of the world was almost ready for it, but it accelerated. But sir, if we look at Pakistan, a country like Pakistan, we are lacking in technology and other resources. What do you think is the one most important thing that we need right now to survive this shift of technology?
First of all, let me tell you something. Don't think that Pakistan is behind in technology. We have issues, but we are not behind in technology. If you look at, we always compare with India, so let's compare with India. But in this case, everybody compares with India when it comes to technology. It's a technology giant, right? I don't know how many billions of dollars they earn through their technology business, but their internal infrastructure not anything compared to IBM's. Not compared to Pakistan's. Right, the kind of things that we have done at the national level, whether it's telecommunication, whether it's the establishment of NADRA, whether it's other related organizations, we have done a lot of work. So that's one thing I really wanted to clear. Yes, we could do better. We could do a lot more. We have wasted a lot of time. So we still have a lot to do. I'm hoping that the lady who has joined us from Google or Alphabet as the the what's her name, Tanya.
Tanya,
Tanya, yes.
Yes, I'm hoping that she can bring the much needed change which is required. Some things are actually, still a little expensive in Pakistan, which needs to be, like, for instance, bandwidth is still very expensive in Pakistan, and the quality is not very good. This is a major issue which we need to focus on. Especially, you must be facing, a lot of problems these days when everybody is working from home, and the corporate networks are not available, so everybody is on the public networks. Same is happening at my home in Karachi, where my mother lives. So basically, there are things that need to improve, and the government needs to use technology more and more to bring transparency into the system, to facilitate people. A lot of things can be and should be done through technology. Like, for instance, if you talk about Nadra, Nadra has started some services for overseas Pakistanis, where I don't have to go anywhere, and sitting at home I can get so many things renewed. I don't know if that is available in Pakistan, because some time back, when I was trying to do it from here in Dubai, I found out that this facility is not available to Pakistanis within Pakistan. So these are the things that the government needs to do, especially in the case of COVID, right? Or in the case of any disaster or calamity, the government should have a framework where the relief efforts can be coordinated, where the government is able to reach out to each and every person. And every time we basically overcome, because of the sheer enthusiasm of our people, because of our very active youth, we overcome these obstacles, whether it's now because of COVID or in 2005 after the earthquake. But since then, since 2005, we do not have a platform on which different agencies, government agencies, non-governmental agencies, NGOs, people can coordinate. That is something we need to have now.
जी समय भी से काफी देर से क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे।
अच्छा जी, समय आप प्लीज जरूर।
जी थोड़ा कम है समय, बिट लाउड प्लीज। जी
देखिए जी, nothing is secure, right? Until and unless you take steps to make it secure, right? Some security is provided to you by the vendor, and the remaining, of course, you have to take care of. Like, for instance, if you are using OneDrive, the company is providing you a password, right? And a way to confirm that you are the intended user of this application, and that's it, right? Now, it does not provide you anything else. Yes, they keep their platform secure, of course. But if you need anything else, then you have to take care of that yourself. So the organizations or the people, those who use these apps, they take care of that. Like, for instance, in IBM or any other company, we have our own secure parameter within which IBM operates, and nobody can intrude into it or gets to our data. So every organization, every individual is basically responsible. If you're using a laptop, you have to have protection on your laptop, whether it's Symantec or anybody, but you have to have that. Now, as far as the cloud is concerned, by the way, it's a huge big topic, because psychologically we think that, since it's somewhere outside our domain, so it's not secure, right? And once the data is inside your own data center and within your building, you think it's secure. It's completely a false notion. Of course, it's the security comes with following the security protocols, with implementing the right kind of security. So IBM, that's why IBM, for instance, one pillar of IBM's complete set of offerings is cybersecurity, right? Or cloud security. So basically, when you are using multiple clouds, in fact, dozens of clouds people are using, then you are using software as a service on different other smaller clouds, and then you are integrating all of these, and they are working together, and people are accessing those multiple clouds through their own laptops and desktops. So then keeping all of this secure becomes very, very difficult. So a complete security framework, not static, which keeps evolving to take care of new threats, new issues, is a must, right? So cloud is as secure as your data, as the data in your data center, or as insecure as the data in your data center. Just because it's outside on the cloud, don't think that it automatically becomes insecure. It can be insecure in your data center. That the steps that you have to take are the same.
Thank you. So we have two questions, and then maybe a faculty member may want to ask a question. So Saman Dawood, go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Yes, what is the startup with IBM, and is they committed to help technologies? So ये help कर रहे हैं technologies के साथ, और what's the startup with IBM?
अगर आप ये पूछें कि IBM स्टार्टअप्स को कैसे हेल्प करता है, यस, IBM का एक पूरा प्रोग्राम है स्टार्टअप्स का और एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को हेल्प करने के लिए, जिसमें वो मटेरियल और नॉन मटेरियल हेल्प की सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करते हैं, सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, एडवाइस प्रोवाइड करते हैं, ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. यस, IBM does that.
इसमें अगर मैं थोड़ा सा ऐड कर दूं सर कि देयर इज एन स्टार्टअप फॉर IBM प्रोग्राम जिसमें $120,000 के क्लाउड क्रेडिट्स मिलते हैं. सो इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड तो आपको एज ए स्टार्टअप वो मिल जाएंगे, जिसमें जिस तरह से अदनान ने ऐड किया कि मेंटोरशिप शामिल है, क्लाउड क्रेडिट शामिल है, फ्री डेवलपमेंट टूल्स अवेलेबल हैं. सो इट्स एन एक्सीलेंट प्रोग्राम.
Aksa, you are back. I think you had an interesting question. जी Aksa, आवाज आ रही है आपको?
Yes, I'm back. Sometimes technology just happens to fail the best of us. Well, my second question was, since you stated in the start that one should opt for a job instead of starting a business, what do you think should be the way forward for us in the current times, where jobs are non-existent and small businesses are all already in trouble? What do you think fresh graduates should do at the moment? Should they still go for a startup or look for jobs?
When I said job, I mean learning, right? So work anywhere where you can learn. If you are looking for a job where you want a certain salary and a certain prestige and a certain name, then you may have, of course, problems. But if you are in the learning frame of mind, you can learn anywhere, no matter how little they are paying you, no matter what kind of environment they are providing you. As long as you are learning, I would suggest you do that first. And then, I mean, I've seen so many bright young graduates who come and then they have this frame of mind that we have to learn no matter what. 2 years, 3 years, we'll just learn how things are done, and then we will do whatever we want to do. So that's what I meant. Learn before starting anything.
अरुज
So,
अकबर
यहाँ पे सर थोड़ा सा अगर मैं ऐड
जी
कर
हाँ प्लीज ऐड
सकूं,
करें
अदनान, मेरी ये राय है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ वेस्टिंग टाइम, अगर आपके पास जॉब नहीं है तो बेहतर एक स्टार्टअप बनाएं या फेल कर दें.
Yeah.
That's learning as well.
Yep.
That's learning as well. That's what I was saying, that if you want to go this way, fine. I mean, people do that. You will learn. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Aruj Akbar, maybe last question from students and then Imran Hamisa.
Yes. Sir, I want to ask that what opportunities IBM provide in this pandemic to new business ideas?
Especially COVID के context में.
Business opportunities. I mean, we have got the same kind of framework or infrastructure available that was there earlier as well. But if you talk about specifically for COVID, we have got a complete program to help our customers. We are providing them a lot of services free for 3 to 6 months so that they can manage and get through the crisis. We are providing technology to monitor their workspaces, their places of business. We are providing them extra cloud credits so that they can move their data to places where it is accessible to them. I mean, there's a list of things that we are doing for our customers during this time. We have actually come up with applications specifically to help customers in this environment. Like, for instance, AI-based applications for detecting if people are wearing masks or not, for detecting if people are, if somebody has a temperature and he's moving around among people. Like, for instance, finding out from their cough pattern if it's a COVID cough or a normal cough. So all of these things IBM has brought out just to help its customers.
Okay. And these things are being used in the market? These are...
Yes, definitely. It's already in the market, and they have been brought out very, very quickly, not only by IBM, but others as well, of course.
Imran Hamisa?
Ji, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, Assalamu alaikum. I'm a faculty member and I teach entrepreneurship courses. And we are at a university which is primarily focused more around the engineering departments. And I have seen that engineering department students and computer science students, they come up with brilliant ideas for the entrepreneurship courses that they have. Their ideas are much more technologically and savvy and much more realistic than our ideas. But strange enough, very few students a very handful of students, they manage to do something with their ideas at the final stage, at the FYPs. I keep on wondering, I keep on wondering what holds them back. By the end of the day, they would. I mean, they would demotivate. They may have a sort of a kind of a discontent with each other. They may lose their impulse. Something happens, and these ideas, excellent ideas, and I could give you a list of around 15-20 ideas from engineering students, but it's very sort of unfortunate. They do not manage to sort of completely get them through. So what is the reason behind it, and how should we help them out?
So basically, you are saying that they are not able to convert their ideas into functional businesses.
Sir.
Okay. I mean, very simple. It's something that I said earlier as well, that an idea itself is not enough. In fact, it is the least important thing, if you ask me. I would pick up a idea which is already out there in the market, and maybe I can do better with that idea than the actual person who conceived of that idea. So it's all because it has to do with the business acumen and
sure.
and sound knowledge of the business model that they need to follow. It's as simple as that. I mean, like, if you see, आप किसी, go and talk to somebody, किसी भी आप shopkeeper के पास चले जाएं, दुकानदार के पास चले जाएं, somebody whose father was a shopkeeper and now he's a shopkeeper, or maybe not his father, he himself is a shopkeeper and running his shop, and he will tell you, how a business is run, because it's so fundamental, it's so basic. You just have to manage your resources, you have to manage your cash flow, you have to make sure that you put money where the return is most and the collection is the earliest. So these are the basics, basically. That's the business. One of my friends who did computer science with me later on went into business with his father, and his father was basically into chemicals, exports or imports, nothing to do with computer science. And by the way, this gentleman actually did MBA with me as well after computer science. But the business that he was running was by a simple formula that the money that you start with at the beginning of the day could be more than what you end with at the end of the day. Day is not just one day. I mean,
absolutely.
So basically, it's all about business. What they should do is they should team up with somebody who has business acumen, or they should make a team in which people have different types of skills. One may be good at coding, one may be good at networking, one may be good at marketing, one may be good at sales, and then jointly try to work this idea.
And Adnan sir, it in addition to business acumen, हो सकता है कि इकोसिस्टम का भी कुछ रोल हो. हम अक्सर सुनते हैं कि जी फलां यूनिवर्सिटी में किसी बच्चे ने कोई गाड़ी बना ली, कोई रोबोट बना लिया, but then it is never seen in the market.
Sir, multiple reasons हो सकते हैं, बिल्कुल सही है. Like हम बहुत सारी चीजें हम देखते हैं कि प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह करते हैं, लेकिन उसकी प्रैक्टिकल यूटिलिटी क्या है, वो बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है मार्केट में. बिकॉज बिजनेस तो उस वक्त होता है जब आप एक ऐसी कॉस्ट पे प्रोडक्शन कर सकें जिससे ज्यादा कस्टमर पे करने के लिए तैयार हैं, राइट? ये सिंपल सा रूल है. अगर आप उस कॉस्ट पे वो क्वालिटी नहीं दे सकते जो कि कस्टमर पे करने के लिए तैयार, जिससे ज्यादा कस्टमर पे करने के लिए तैयार है, तो इट वोंट वर्क आउट. So that's one thing. The other is ecosystem. Yes, ecosystem is definitely an issue because अमेरिका में जैसे कि आपने देखा ही है कि इतनी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज गैराजेस से निकली हैं. उसकी वजह ये है कि उनका इकोसिस्टम उनको हेल्प करता है. मतलब अगर वहां पर बिल गेट्स जो है वो अपनी गैराज से निकल के बैंक जाके लोन लेने की कोशिश करता है तो उसको मिल जाता है, राइट? जबकि हमारे यहाँ तो किसी एंटरप्रेन्योर को बैंक जो है वो सपोर्ट नहीं करेगा, right? So these are the kind of things. I completely agree with you, Doctor. Ecosystem is important. All the support, the framework has to be there. दुबई का जो हमने शुरू में बात की थी, why is it that Dubai is such an attractive place for startups and entrepreneurs? Because they have the system. They have the system, and then they make sure that nobody runs away from it and nobody abuses the system. Pakistan mein problem ye hai ki having the system is not the only issue. How to make sure then that system is not abused? I don't know if you remember the yellow cap scheme, or if you remember the laptop scheme, or if you remember so many. I mean, government spend millions and billions and millions and billions, right? What benefit do you think we got out of that? Or the people got out of that?
Exactly. So it has been a very interesting session, Adnan sir, and we have taken a lot of your time.
No problem.
Thank you so much. I'm sure the students have learned a lot.
I hope so, sir.
About how to, what is the organizational culture of IBM, what is the ecosystem of Dubai, and what ecosystem is suitable for entrepreneurship. Students have learned a lot. So thank you so much for an interesting closing session. And Dr. Imran, over to you.
Sir, thank you very much, Sir Idress. Sir Adnan, we're really grateful for your time. We learned a lot. This is just the beginning of our discussion. Eid के बाद इंशाल्लाह हम एक और detailed session plan करेंगे. We would love to hear more from you. और एक panel discussion में भी हम रखें, जिसमें हम different topics को build करें ताकि ideas pollinate हो, cross pollinate हो, और फिर students और सीखें और startups बनाने में help करें. Thank you very much once again, sir. We learned a lot. We're really grateful for your time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for letting me.
Your concluding remarks, sir.
My concluding remarks. Well, my concluding remarks is, basically for students, and those who are getting out of universities, try to learn from everywhere. Try to learn from everybody. Your friends, your colleagues, your elders, even your juniors, try to learn. I mean, there has to be a hunger for learning and hunger for progressing in life, right? If you don't have that hunger, try to find out why not. Because if you are at ease in your life, ask yourself, how do I make myself uncomfortable? If you are comfortable in life, you will not, I would say, I mean, this is something I tell my kids all the time, that if you are very comfortably settled in your life, you don't have the urge to attain or achieve anything. So if you are comfortable, make yourself uncomfortable. Find out what it is that makes you uncomfortable and try and achieve it.
Thank you very much, sir. It was an amazing session. Thank you very much once again for your time. Have a good day, sir. Thank you very much, students. Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.